You start to notice it slowly. At first it's small, a conversation that feels off, a joke that doesn't land anymore, an opinion everyone agrees with that just doesn't make sense to you. And then one day, it hits you. The more clearly you think, the more disconnected you feel. You try to explain something simple, logical, backed by reason. But instead of understanding, you get blank stares, or worse, resistance. People don't just disagree with you, they get uncomfortable, defensive, even angry, like your clarity is an attack. And that's when the real question appears. Why does thinking clearly make you feel so alone? Music. Most people assume it's because others don't understand. But that's not the full truth, because many times they do understand, at least on some level. But understanding comes with a cost. It forces you to question your beliefs, your identity, the story you've been telling yourself about the world. And for most people, that price is too high. So instead of adjusting their thinking, they protect it, not by improving it, but by shutting it down. Music. We like to think ignorance is about low intelligence, but what if it isn't? What if it's something much deeper, something chosen, not given? A long time ago, during one of the darkest periods in human history, a thinker made a disturbing observation. He watched intelligent, educated people, doctors, teachers, professionals, blindly follow ideas that were clearly destructive. And he asked a dangerous question. How do smart people stop thinking? His answer wasn't comforting. He concluded that the real danger wasn't evil itself, but the moment a person gives up their ability to think independently. Music. Because evil, at least, can be recognized. It leaves traces, guilt, conflict, tension. But a mind that has stopped questioning, that's something else entirely. You can present facts, and they won't matter. You can show contradictions, and they'll be ignored. You can prove something beyond doubt, and it still won't get through. Not because the person lacks intelligence, but because they've stopped using it. Music. At that point, you're no longer speaking to a person. You're speaking to a script, a set of ideas that has taken control. Their responses become predictable. Their opinions sound rehearsed. Their reactions feel automatic. It's like the individual disappears, and something else speaks in their place. Music. And here's what makes it even more unsettling. This doesn't usually happen in isolation. It happens in groups, in environments where belonging matters more than truth. Because when people are offered certainty, identity, and acceptance, they will trade a lot to keep it, even their independence, even their ability to question. Music. Think about it. How often do people defend ideas they've never deeply examined? How often do they reject information, not because it's false, but because it threatens their sense of self? That's not a lack of intelligence. That's self-protection. Music. And once someone is in that state, arguing with them becomes almost pointless. Because you're not just challenging an idea, you're challenging who they believe they are. And when identity is on the line, logic rarely wins. Music. So what does this mean for you? Why does it feel like you're drifting away from others? It's not because you're better. It's not because everyone else is incapable. It's because you've started doing something most people avoid. You've started questioning. And questioning creates distance. It separates you from easy answers, from comfortable beliefs, from the safety of the crowd. Music. But here's the part no one tells you. That distance, it's not a punishment, it's a transition. Because while it can feel isolating at first, it also creates something rare: clarity. Independence, the ability to see things for what they are, not just what you've been told they are. Music. And eventually, you realize something important. You were never meant to think like everyone else. Because if everyone thinks the same, no one is really thinking at all. So yes, thinking clearly might make you feel alone, but it also makes you free. And in a world where most people trade freedom for comfort, that's a price worth paying.